That soccer player from the Japanese national team was falsely accused by two influencers, lost everything, sponsors, millions of dollars, and it almost cost him his career. And the women who defamed him are not only free, but were also invited by FIFA to the World Cup. That story unfortunately is real. It's going viral in Japan, and they almost destroyed the life of this soccer player who, by the way, scored a goal against Tunisia. Yes, exactly. He scored the third goal for the Japanese national team against Tunisia. It's about Junya Ito. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but he's the guy whose life was completely ruined, but he proved his innocence. And not only that, but at the time he was going to counter-sue these women, and they, in a panic, decided to withdraw the accusation because they knew what was coming. FIFA's actions are disgraceful yet entirely real. We'll see what people are saying. This story is going viral on Japanese Twitter. The Japanese soccer star Junya Ito had his career derailed a few years ago by false accusations of, well, you know what, the usual, right? Which eventually fell apart, forcing him to miss the Asian Cup. In other words, they took away an important tournament from him, and he had to endure months of public scrutiny. Not only that, but we're going to see that he lost more than $1 million. Just imagine. Today, the two women behind those accusations continue their lives as Instagram influencers. Those who make false accusations should receive the same punishment. I agree because I want them to understand this. A false accusation aims to ruin a life, to destroy the other person's life, to publicly destroy him. And obviously, if they had succeeded, if they had managed to do it, it would have been something very serious. And now I wonder who rejected him. Who gives back all those millions, all those months of stress, those traumatic months that this soccer player must have gone through? Who gives them back? Who returns them? Look, we even have several things like this here. Junya Ito, the man who lost everything due to a false accusation. So, this is going viral even on TAM. Look, 1.5 million views. This story, sadly, is real. And they almost took everything from this guy. But today, luckily, so you can see a story of overcoming, he scored the third goal for the Japanese national team. The problem is that, well, these women were there in the stadium. Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. These women acted as if nothing was happening. It's just not possible. It's a total disgrace that they're being invited to these events. In fact, honestly, I think they should be behind bars. It has to be said. It's incredible how little false accusations are punished. But anyway, that's not all. I want to show you a lot of things behind this story because honestly, it's crazy. Let's see how it all happened. We can see the following here. Look, at the beginning of 2024, Junya Ito faced a complex legal situation due to false accusations that surfaced publicly while he was with the national team in an international tournament. The impact of these false accusations was immediate. It led to his departure from the team's training camp to avoid distractions for the squad. Well, inevitably, the squad got distracted. The player maintained his innocence from the start. Given the damage caused to his reputation and commercial contracts, his lawyers responded legally by filing a multi-million-dollar civil lawsuit for defamation against those responsible for spreading the false accusations. After months of official investigation, the judicial authorities in Japan resolved the situation definitively in August 2024. The Osaka prosecutor's office decided to dismiss the case completely due to the lack of evidence supporting the allegations, closing the criminal proceedings and confirming that these were false accusations. This resolution allowed him to clear his name and formally return to the call-ups for the Japan national team. Of course, not only that, but also look, that guy plays for Reims in France. He plays for a European club, right? And luckily, I'm surprised this happened in France, but they respected the presumption of innocence. The French had to do something right. Look, while the investigative process was moving forward in Japan, the French League One club took a cautious stance and respected the presumption of innocence. Bravo, look, I'm very critical of France, you know that, but you have to admit they did something right. Now, Reims did not sideline the player. Very good. The club issued statements expressing their personal and sporting support while they waited for clear legal evidence. Bravo, excellent. Sporting continuity. Hito continued playing regularly in France during the first half of 2024. Imagine playing under that pressure, knowing you could go to jail. I mean, that's what they're after. They're destroying your image, the brands and sponsors are gone, and financially you're falling apart. And that guy kept playing soccer. Something similar happened to Sun, the player from South Korea, who about a year and a half ago they also tried to bring down. And not only did he prove his innocence, but he also got the other woman put in jail, as it should be. Now here they tell us the following. The coaching staff and management prioritized performance on the field, avoiding taking internal disciplinary measures based solely on public accusations. Wow, I'm glad that this guy managed to stay. It's very complicated in a situation like that, but I imagine he used all of that, right? The pressure, the stress, the pain to try to give his best version where it really matters on the field. And now he's playing in the World Cup, he scored a goal, he's on Japan's super national team, which for me is a very strong team, underrated, and I think the Japanese can bring us great surprises during this competition. World Cup, but anyway, here they tell us that Hito's return to the Blue Samurais required a definitive legal resolution to unlock the institutional restrictions, that is, his return to the national team. The head coach explained at the time that leaving him out of the March 2024 call-ups, he was trying to protect the player from intense media pressure and ensure a calm environment for the rest of the squad. Basically, with this, the guy wasn't supposed to travel to Japan regularly to play with the national team and deal with all the questions the press was asking him. Because in Japan, this issue had exploded. Is it going to impact his professional and commercial career now? Please, brace yourselves because this is sad. Despite proving his innocence, the period he was under scrutiny caused severe consequences for his finances and market status, including the loss of sponsors. Renowned brands and major commercial sponsors in Japan recently either immediately terminated or froze their advertising contracts, going to extremes to protect their corporate image. What a serious economic loss. His legal team quantified these commercial breaches in a civil lawsuit for damages amounting to 200 million yen, which is approximately 1.2 million euros. Filed against those who promoted the case, arguing that the reputational damage affected the most decisive stage of his professional career. Currently, with the case closed and having regained his position, Hito has managed to focus his energy 100% on football, establishing himself as a starter in the 2026 World Cup. Of course, the problem is that you're playing with the national team and suddenly, imagine, you see those who are supporting you in the stands and you come across this one. Very intense, right? This one. There you see her. They have turned it into a business. They have turned a group into a business, turned a group that they have turned into business. See you next time.